What is going on? It is week 38, 2024. Here we are. This is a big part of the year right now, at least for the coached athletes in this group here. Going into some peak parts of the year. I mean, some of you have done your big race already, but there is a large portion. This is for a lot of athletes out there, not even just coach athletes, just athletes in general in multisport and running, which are stepping up to a lot of local races and abroad right now. We have Ironman Maryland coming up. A few athletes coach that are going to be doing that for their first Ironman. Very exciting. Also, World Championships this week. Have an athlete going there to Nice to race there. That's going to be amazing. It's going to be a great weekend to track, especially as the bulk, a very large majority of the athletes are going to be doing Jones Beach the week after. Amazing. That's here we are. Like, big work is done for that race. So many different people for so many different goals for this race, whether it be first time 70.3, shooting for that PR, maybe just finishing, just getting to the finish line because of that goal that you have, or that the vision that's pulling you towards wanting to do this race and getting you to that finish line no matter what. Everybody has a different story, everybody has a different journey, and that's what's great about endurance sports. And not to forget about, it is like peak time heading into a lot of the marathons. Chicago, New York City, finishing out the year with the big marathon season, big miles being put up by these runners, and it's going to be before you know it, your time to taper down and start hit the start line for those races. So this just brings up something that I heard topic recently. I like to kind of throw one of these in week to week, is the quote, or I guess the saying of, when you see these workouts on your calendar, you're training for these races, what are we really doing? Are we exercising, or are we training? And that is one thing you need to very well differentiate between the two, is this training versus exercise thing that's out there. Now, what does that mean? Like, what is the difference between that? I thought they maybe were the same thing. But exercise is just something that you do day in and day out, week after week. Maybe, just some kind of goal in the gym. You want to, go lose a couple pounds, lift some weight. Just be healthy. Have a healthy lifestyle. There's really no end goal. There's no performance thing at the end. There's no start line. There's no stage you're stepping onto. It's just you're exercising. You want to be healthy. You want to be able to chase your kids around and go run around with your dog and go do fun things on vacation and just be healthy. That's what exercising is. Just being able to move your body, make some smart decisions throughout the day, throughout your life, health wise, and just feel good. But what is training? That's what everybody here is doing. We have these specific goals that we talk about at the beginning of the season, or at the beginning of the race build. Is we're training, we're doing something day in and day out, week after week, training block after training block, heading into these races for a specific reason. There's specific things we do in each session for a specific reason. We're not just going out and doing the same workout routine in the gym just week after week just to stay healthy and stay moving. Things change. There's different periods of training. There's that base building that you started in, then there's that beginning build of the training block and training plan for that race, starting to go up the peak of fitness, and then inevitably hitting that peak before the race and cruising into race day with the proper taper, the proper structure, having done the work, having done the proper volume, the proper intensity, learning all kinds of things along the way about some gear, some nutrition, fueling, making those smarter decisions day to day fueling wise. Hydrating more, like all these little things that are going to play into the bigger role of having a very good race day. And that's what training is. So, you just got to remember, when you ask yourself kind of like, what am I doing out here? What's going on? It's just getting crazy. Like, remember, it's a specific focused task that we're doing every time we get out there and log something on our watch. It's for a reason. It's training for this event. And some of those bricks are smaller than others, and they all play a big role in getting us to that race day and supporting our goals for that. And it's just about having that clear purpose in training, and that's really the difference between that training and exercise. Mentality that you need to have is, we're training for something. We have that clear goal. There's a specific reason why we're doing everything. And that leads me into just a little side note of, off season is, You could kind of, mix it up a little bit. You come out of the training for something and maybe do a little exercising, just kind of staying fit, not really having a purpose, not really training for something, just trying to stay healthy. Maybe you want to go do some other type of things in the wintertime, whether you're a skier, snowboarder, whatever it is. You kind of can shift focuses for that, but you still have to, when you want to have a clear purpose for something, that means we're training for something. We're training for a specific outcome, and just understand that things change throughout the year as far as our month to month type of training. And once you're deep into it and you have a mission, just remember we're training for something. And side note for that, with the training and peaking to races, um, you're all reaching this point in this year right now. Anybody that's watching this is you're probably getting pretty fit right now, right? Aerobically, for endurance sports, and you could be maybe peaking to the most you've ever been in your athletic endeavors out there. And just remember that that doesn't stay at that level. We can't just keep blasting through these plateaus like race after race after race, like for 12 months out of the year. It's a cyclical thing that does have to kind of abide to a little bit. You do need some kind of off season. You need to come down with the volume. Really let your body, and it's not just your muscles or your fatigue. It's the deep fatigue that you've been doing to your body. I mean, look at the amount of work. If you've been consistent with a plan and you've been putting in even just say 90% or above of these sessions that you have to, and a lot of you are putting damn near close to 100% into it. You're going to be tired in the end. Like, you're going to peak yourself for that. Remember, training for something, training for this 1 day performance, that one day that you're going to put it all together and kind of put a really good effort in. And that's meant to really like drain your body on race day. And it's going to take a little bit of time after that to just heal up and then get back to the swing of things. You can't just hammer out and start going crazy with the training again right away. Although some of you have some bigger races even after the ones coming up, but that's fine. We're peaking into those, and then you'll turn it down a little bit. Focus on a really good off season. What something I like to do with the athletes is, I don't like to train and spend a lot of time together and peak you into this one race and then just kind of, hey, recap the race and see you later. Like, it's not about keeping you on board. I have to be your coach or anything like that, but I would definitely like to send you off into, post race. There is definitely a post race blues that comes with a lot of these longer endurance sports. Is you've done so much, you've had such a busy calendar, you've been so mentally into it and physically into it that when the day comes and goes, and it will go very quickly, you're kind of lost afterwards. And the longer we stay away from the training and the exercise that we were doing, is it kind of like the body will adapt and want to just do what you're doing or not doing. And what I really mean by all this is, we got to come up with something relatively soon after these events to formulate some type of structure to get you into a good off season, because that's what we're going to need to keep progressing you. The body, after about 7 days of not doing certain activity, tends to start adapt going back the other way to its regular state of just a slow slope down, and then it starts to cut off pretty quickly after that, as far as losing fitness and losing all that progress you made. So it's about curbing that loss a little bit, finding and maintaining a new base, a higher base from the year before, and then getting into that swing of things again and hopefully peaking at a higher point than the year before. Taking time off, too much time off into the following year, is just not going to pay good outcomes for the following season. So it is cyclical. You will have to come off of this high volume, high intensity, and then move into something else. And we can work with that and work together with that. Possibly, working in more strength training. You'll have some more time to train. Maybe dipping into another sport that you like to do that isn't endurance sports, and you can spend some more time doing something like that. Possibly rehabbing an injury that's been bothering you all year. Now's the time to literally nip it in the butt and get yourself strong for the following year, and work with somebody and your coach to get you to the goals or the starting point of next season super healthy and super prepared, even more than you were this year. Also, good time to start thinking about things while you're getting close to race day is, again, that accuracy in data collection. That's something we can work on in the off season. That's just going to be, thinking about, hey, do I want to upgrade, maybe get a power meter for next year? Do I want to really start tracking my heart rate and get some type of external strap other than my watch to record all of that? making sure all my data is going in properly into whatever software you have. Just because the more data you have, whether it's for myself as your coach or any other coach, they're going to want to look back and see historical trends in data. And there's been some people that, I've onboarded and I looked at some of your past data, and it's like you can tell it's just crazy inaccurate, whether it be pace or heart rate. And then it's hard to see kind of what type of fitness levels you were at for these prior races and prior builds. And the more data you have going into the beginning of some type of training, the better and more accurate we can be, and the more structured we can be with guiding you on that process. Little side note, I just assume things, I guess. But if you don't know, Training Peaks actually has a website that you can actually log in. So for the athletes that I always, introducing you to Training Peaks and we work together on there, it's not just app-based on the phone. Go to the website, log in. You'll be able to actually see your calendar in a much better view. This is why I sit here in the office and go over everything on the computer. It's just so much easier. There's so many more things you can do and look into, and charts and all kinds of stuff. And it's just easier sometimes to see your calendar as it stands. And you can even print out about a month at a time of your calendar, just so you can kind of maybe keep it on your wall, make some notes on it as things are coming up. And really, for tonight, I have a few more videos I want to come out with this week because there's so many people racing soon. But just a side note, I was running this morning and just, getting towards the end of the big week of training for myself for triathlon season. You hear this quote, everyone says, like, we get to do this. It is really pretty amazing, though. Now's the time for a little self-reflection and looking back on the year and 2024 and see all that work that you've put in, all that work that, hard work, hours away, sacrifices that you've had to put in to get to this point. Like, it should be pretty humbling to you. Now's the time when you can look back and really start to see how far you've come, how far your fitness has improved. Just look back, even some of you 3 or 4 months, or just look back to the springtime and see what your schedules looked like, your workouts looked like, the volume of your training looked like. You may not think you're getting faster, but I'm trust you're getting more fit, because look at the workouts and the weeks that you've been able to put up. Some of you have looked at these weeks prior and were like, kind of like, I have to do all that work, and then look at it. You've done it, and you did it amazingly, and you've checked all the boxes, and you've gotten to this point. So from this point forward to your peak race, whether it be this weekend, the following weekend, or even for the marathoners a little further down the road, just remember, when you get to that point, when you hit that peak and you hit that biggest week for the year, the work is done. The work has been put in. Some of you more than others, some of you more spot on than others. If you can self-assess and say, man, I really wish I put in some more work, that I missed a bunch of it, that's something we have to figure out and work on for next year. Maybe have different goals, or have to make a few more sacrifices. So at this point, the work you've put in. There's nothing that we can do to force any type of fitness after your peak week to kind of panic train, as I like to call it, into race day. And just trust it. If you've trusted all this work you've put in now, trust the little bit of taper that we're going to have going into these races. Don't overdo it, because you might show up overcooked for your race. But don't do nothing, because you'll show up just flat. And I have a video for taper, which you can find on the channel. I'll repost it around this week, just because it will help a bunch of people out there. And just remember again, that big wall. I've had this for a couple years now, stowed away here. That's your goal race right there, and those are all the bricks you put in. Some of them, you might have missed. You didn't hit the purpose of that workout. That's fine, but self-assess, see mentally, what kind of wall did you build during training? Is this going to be enough to support these goals that you have for race day? Were you satisfied with the way your year went? Satisfied with that wall that you built? It is what it is for right now. We'll get through it. We're going to have awesome race days. We're going to have awesome races come to the end of the year. And then, hey, if you do want to self-assess or go to that next level, that you did hit everything, you say, I think I got even a little more in me, we can program that and start really pushing the envelope a little more next year, and see what kind of potential you really have locked deep down inside. Everybody's potential is different, and that's why different things for different people and different programs. But for now, everybody, just keep rocking it. Love that you all trust in the process. A few people reached out this past week after they hit their peak weekends and were just like, wow, I can't believe I've done all that, and reaching out saying thank you. But I mean, don't thank me. The coach can write the best plan in the world, but it's up to the athlete to trust it, follow it, and execute it the way that it's supposed to. And trusting that coach is that's that relationship you need to have. And once it's moving and shaking, and a bunch of you are, it's flowing perfect. It just, you can just hit race after race, because you just see the calendar, understand it, trust the process, and we keep going from there. So for now, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, bounce that life 1 mile at a time, and I will catch you all soon.